Hello children, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. Children, today I am going to start your last chapter of your annual course. The name of the chapter that I am going to start that is more about internet. Here we will discuss about the history of internet, how to get connected to the internet, common internet terms associated with the internet and the concept of the email. Okay, let's start our today's chapter. Internet stands for International Network. It is the largest computer network in the world. The internet is a fast and inexpensive mode of communications. It enables people to send and receive messages through emails. A network is a group of two or more computer systems linked together to form a global network. And these computers are connected through telephones, wires, modems, satellite links, or other means enabling them to share information amongst each other. History of the internet. We know that internet is one of the best technologies gifted to mankind, and it has brought the entire world closer. The inventions of internet has transformed our living. But how the internet was developed. So we have to know the history of the internet. The internet was founded by the Department of Defense. Its short form it is called DOD, Department of Defense. And this Department of Defense was in USA, and the internet was founded by DOD in the year of 1969, and at that time it was known as ARPANET. So the full form of ARPANET is Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. So in 1969 in USA the internet was founded by the Department of DOD, and in 1980 the ARPANET project was assigned to the National Science Foundations. Okay, it was assigned in the year of 1980 to National Science Foundations. So the NSF linked 5 supercomputers at 5 major universities to help scholars share information on latest technology, and over the period it expanded, and finally it became a network consisting of millions of computers, and now it is known as the internet. So this is the history of the internet. Accessing the internet. Nowadays internet can be accessed by the people all over the world, but earlier it was restricted to be used by the military personnel and scientists. So let us see what all do we need in order to access the internet. So the basic requirements for an internet connection is modem, internet connection, telephone line and web browser. So what is modem? A modem is a device that allows one computer to connect to the another computer, and modem's speed is measured in bps, means bits per second. And we know that there are two types of modem. One is called internal modem and another one is called external modem. Internal modem is fitted inside the computer, and external modem which is attached to the computers from outside. ISP, it is called Internet Service Provider. So ISP stands for Internet Service Provider. An ISP is a company which offers you to use internet in exchange of a monthly fee. It provides software, username and password to the user in order to connect to the internet. And some popular Indian internet service providers are Tata, Reliance, Airtel, Vodafone, MTS and Idea. Basic terms of the internet. So first is web page. The page where pictures, text, images are contained as a document, that is called web page. A web page is a specific collection of informations provided by a website. A web page can be a simple web page or very interactive web page. It depends on its purpose. Web page documents are written in the HTML language. The full form of HTML language is Hypertext Markup Language. Second one is URL, Uniform Resource Locator. So, in order to visit someone's home, we should know their address. In the same way, a URL means Uniform Resource Locator is the web address of a web page. Each website is identified by its unique address and which is known as the Uniform Resource Locator. The URL should be entered in the address bar of a web browser. Website. A website is a collection of related web pages. It has also a web address. Some examples of websites are Amazon.com, Flipkart.com and Discovery.com. So we know that a website is typically consists of many web pages. A website is a collection of web pages and related content that is identified by a common domain name and published on at least one web. So a collection of related web pages is known as website. Just like a book, it has many pages. Similarly, a website has many web pages and every website has an internet address. Our next term is home page. The opening page of a website is called its home page. So, the first page of a website is called home page. When we open website, the first page that appears on the screen is called home page. So, a home page is the main web page of a website. A home page is not a library. It is a guide towards pages that contain the necessary informations. Our next term is hyperlinks. A hyperlink is a word, phrase or image that can take the user from one part of a file to another. World Wide Web. The World Wide Web, or it is called www, short form is www, refers to the group of all the web pages on the internet. In order to access web pages, we need a web browser. So, web browser is used for viewing the contents of a website. A web browser is a software that allows the user to view a web page. And there are many different web browsers like Google, Chrome, and then Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Apple, Safari, etc. Web browser. In order to access any page on the internet, we first need a software program and that is called the web browser. So, web browser is a software application or program that helps you to access the entire information available on the web. You can visit any website by entering the URL in the address bar. Browsers make it very easy to move from one website to another website, and you can normally open your web browser from a shortcut on your desktop. So there are some popular web browsers are Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Opera, etc. Search engine. A search engine is a computer program that searches for information on the World Wide Web or the internet by looking for words or a set of words which you have typed on it. So, to look for any information on the internet, such search engines are used. A search engine is a software that searches various web pages on the World Wide Web for a particular information. It allows a user to enter a keyword related to the information one requires and displays the search results as a list of links to the pages on which the keywords are found. So, there are some popular search engines are that is google.com, yahoo.com, ask.com, altavista.com, etc. Our next term is protocols. While communicating with each other, computers need to follow a common set of rules and instructions. So, a particular set of communications rules that we have to follow, that is called protocol. So, an example of a protocol is the Internet Protocol. Downloading and uploading data. Downloading means that it is the process of sending data from the server to the user's computer. When we send our data from the server to the user's computer, that is called downloading. So, you can download various games, music, videos, movies, etc. Okay, and uploading means that it is a process of sending data from your computer to the server. So we can upload our pictures, songs, videos, music, etc. and share it with your family members and friends. So, and however, it is always advisable to keep your informations private. So uploading and downloading means that when you send our data from the server to the user's computer, that is called downloading, and uploading means that when we send the data from our computers to the servers, it is called uploading. Domain names. Domain names is a unique and easy to spell address which is used for identifying a particular website. So the examples of some domain names are www.google.com, www.microsoft.com. These are the examples of domain names. Our next topic is email. Email is also known as electronic mail. An email helps us exchange messages electronically using computers and other devices. We know that email stands for electronic mail. It is a facility on internet to send and receive messages anywhere around the world in real time. It works like conventional and correspondence, but it is instant and convenient. The best part of email is that a single mail can be sent to a number of persons at a time, and we can attach photos, videos, important data along with our messages. So the extra files we can attach in our email. Advantages of email. There are 4 advantages of email. First one is reliable. It is reliable source of communications. When you send an email, it is delivered without any delay or damage. In case of any error, a message stating the cause of error will be reported to you. And second advantage is high speed. Messages can be sent at a very fast rate irrespective of the distance. Third advantage is economics. It has a very nominal cost. Fourth advantage is content. Any form of data like text, graphics, sound or video can be sent through emails. So an email is sent or received within a fraction of a second. Email can be sent, we can be sent to any part of the world. Okay, and it is absolutely free of cost. We can send documents, pictures, sound files and even videos through an email. Email address. In order to send or receive an email, you must have an email address. Email address is also known as email ID or email account. So the email address must be unique for each internet user, since there are multiple users on the internet. Okay, when we create an email account, we get an email address to which people write mail to us. So every email account has a unique email address, which means no two individuals in the world can have the same email address. Okay, just like our postal address, which is one of its kind, our email address belongs to us. So an email address consists of a username and a domain name of the server which provides the mail facility. Our next topic is email service provider. In this topic here we will discuss creating an email account, how we can create an email account, how we can use the email ID, how we can sending email. Then here we will discuss how we can receive email. Okay, how we can forward email, so how we can reply email and how we can delete our email, and lastly how we can log out our account. These things we will discuss in our next video. Hope you understand. Thank you. Thanks for watching.